guys, it's Mike, and today we are back, and I'm back with a firearm that I haven't had on the channel for some time, and that is my Ruger 77 Alaskan something rifle. Whether it was a police rifle or a fish and game rifles, unclear. But I picked her up off Gunbroker. She has some interesting stories, and as you can tell, she's not in the greatest of shape. Now, when I picked her up, obviously she didn't have scope mounts with a scope on it, and it came, as is, minus that. And it was a fine gun, and I plan on leaving it in this rough shape. She clearly has a lot of stories to tell, and I'd like to take her along to make a few more stories. But in the first video I took this girl out, we ran into an issue, and that was the magazine plate was springing open under the recoil of the gun. Now, obviously that's not something you can have in a rifle that you plan on hunting, your North American game animals like bear or moose with. You kind of want a reliable rifle. Part of the reason I wanted to pick up a gun like this in the first place, this extra story it has really just adds to that. But these 77s are known for their reliability and their buttery smooth action. So, obviously had to fix that. Now, what it actually ended up being, it was pretty simple. I had to take the, drop the receiver out of the stock, pull the floor plate out, and there was actually a piece of like spruce bark or pine bark that had become lodged up here in the front hinge that locks into the stock. Not the actual hinge pin itself, but there's kind of like a dovetailed groove cut in there where it locks into the wood. And there was, like I said, a piece of spruce or pine bark that had gotten jammed in there. So it was actually not all the way in position, which was why there wasn't enough back pressure on this plate to keep it, this little detent here, locked in. So it would hold in kind of loosely, and if you pressed on it, it would flop around a little, but as soon as you fired, it would just blow open under the recoil. That is no longer the case. So that work, or theoretically, is no longer the case. The issue's been fixed. This is going to be my first time actually taking her out to the range since that. Hence why this video has taken so long to post as an update on this gun, just because I haven't had the time with the homestead and the weather to actually get out there. But today's the day. Also, came across that my front sight was bent. And you can see from the groups I shot in the previous video, they were all pulling to one side, and that's just because the front sight post is bent over. I don't know whether that's why this gun was decommissioned, or it was just decommissioned because of its age. But to get around that, I decided to put some glass on top of it, and I wanted to go with something that was high quality and would hold up to the recoil, as well as keeping it true to being a brush gun or defensive kind of guide gun setup. So I went with a 1-to-4 power Vortex Diamondback. I've had a lot of good luck with the Vortexes on my high recoiling guns, like my 7-mag, although I would argue this almost isn't even as bad as the 7-mag. Might just be because of all the weight. But without further introduction, we'll go ahead and we'll take this girl out to the range, put some shots through her, and see how she performs now that she's back on her feet. All right, guys, we're back out at the range for our second time here with the M77. Got a target set for 50 yards. Haven't tried to sight it in yet. The big question will be whether or not my magazine plate has been repaired properly. Go ahead and load her up. Just dump these right in there. There's a lot of things about this gun that I really like, and I really hope this thing will perform well now. All right, 50 yards, take our first shot with it here. And I got the scope cranked up to 4 power. I'm gonna shoot right for the middle target. Well, I forgot how much that fucking thing kicks. Whew. All right. But the base plate stayed closed.
That's the important bit.
That's the important bit. You can't have a rifle dumping your ammunition every time you shoot it. So let me see where we... Looks like we are shooting down to the right. So we're gonna cut. I'm gonna walk down there, make my adjustments to my scope, and we will be right back. All right, so we made our adjustments. I'm gonna send another one, and hopefully we're on, because I don't... Ammo's expensive. Little low, but maybe I pulled that low. I just love dumping a big chunk of brass out of the side of this thing. This is such a cool gun. I'm gonna send one more. I don't even see that one.
Let's go take a look.
Yeah, unless it's in the black right next to it. Take a look. All right, James is going to send one just to make sure that I'm not pulling them, because they still seem low.
We'll find out.
He doesn't flinch like I do.
Sometimes. That looks like it might still be low in the black.
Okay, so it looks like it was going right where I just was going then?
Yeah, yours was fully in the black, or was yours in the green too?
Just on the edge.
Mine is in the green right by that other one.
Okay, so it's still shooting low.
Yeah.
See, that makes me feel a little better. But again, more importantly, the gun works now. Which means it's ready for moose season if I ever pull a tag.
Your second one and my first.
All right, so you don't think that's margin of error? You think that it's still shooting?
Yeah. Here we go. Just outside the ball.
That's good enough for me. Let me get in there and send one more for good time's sake.
All right.
All right, let's see if I can drop this right in the same spot. Yes. Just on the other side of the bullseye.
All right.
So, the gun works. The gun shoots. And I couldn't be happier. But I just wanted to post this update with the hopeful news that the gun was working, and here we are, it works. Hopefully, if we ever pull that moose tag or head to Canada or Alaska, you will see this gun in the future doing exactly what I bought it to keep doing. Anyway, guys, if you like my content, like, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.